Hey, accountability buddies, this is Les with another episode of Less is More Healthy. I am testing out a new audio microphone setup here. It is wireless. It's the Ulanzi wireless microphone. It's the J12. I'll be doing a full review on it when I decide if I like it or not. It may just be adequate. But anyway, other than that, I'm going for a walk. I left myself what I thought was plenty of time to get out for a walk. I'm apparently doing a shorter walk than I expected. I was going to ride my bike to work, but I am not because I have to run errands today after work, and I can't do that on the bike. I can't pick up a 12-pack of toilet paper. Well, maybe I could and strap it to the rack of the bike. I just don't want to. Or I would be limited in locations, and that's beside the point. So what I really wanted to talk about today is the idea or my recovery time. So if you think back, or if you go back to like the early episodes of Less is More Healthy, um, now that we're nearing 100, which feels mind blowing, way back in November or December, um, what I found was that it took longer for me to recover. Walking those first longer walks of a mile plus, my feet hurt the day after, my legs hurt the day after, my lower back was a mess. And, just recovering from that took a lot longer, even though like the mileage was lower. Um, and if I think back to that first 26-mile ride I took up to Ipswich and back, which is it's 13 miles each way. Um, when I think about that and the recovery time, it took days after that before my legs didn't hurt, before my hips and my butt didn't hurt, which is different than today. So today is 2 days after a 30-mile ride, and I'm not sore anymore. I have a little bit of like muscle tightness in my legs, but I know as soon as I get walking, that's going to go away. Um, like I am not hurting in the same way that I did even a month ago or 2 months ago, certainly not 8 months ago. So it's just the recovery time is improving each time I add the mileage. Certainly, yes, 30 miles was a lot. That was like another leap in mileage for me. And yeah, I am continuing to hope that I can do 40, 50, 60 until I finally reach that century point, which will probably happen in August. Now that I'm like looking at timelines and things, um, you know, we're going to Maine in a couple of weeks here, and that's always a great cycling location. So I'll be getting some miles in there, um, and just kind of enjoying riding my bike. So yeah, I'm just trying to like think about like how like what is making my recovery happening so much better. Is it that my muscles are like now know how to recover after a prolonged like exercise? Is it that I'm feeding my body right? I mean, I know like after exercise, for your muscles to recover, you need more protein. You need some carbs as well. My blood sugar has been fantastic over the last few days, and I found this every time I ride like 15 plus miles, my blood sugar is good for days afterwards. I'm also not eating crap. Although on one of the days when I was out on a ride, I did have an ice cream cone. My wife and I rode out to the ice cream shop. And I intended just to like suggest that she have ice cream. Um, and instead, you know, I had one too. But that's a whole other thing is like when I'm riding, I can eat all the carbs that I want because it's like my body is no longer confused about what to do with carbs. Whereas like on a daily basis, when I eat carbs, my body's like, we don't know what to do with this. You're gonna flood your body with um uh insulin or but your body's not going to know how to use the insulin. So it's like the only time my body knows what to do with insulin and carbs is when I'm exercising. So it's like I don't really, well, I guess I kind of use exercise as an excuse to have carbohydrates or have some. Um, it yeah. So that's a thing that I do and happens. Um, that being said, like the fact that I feel good on day 2 after a 30-mile ride, where like I felt like my saddle was punching me right in the perineum for every rooty inch that I rode in Bradley Palmer Park. Um, and that was like for a good half mile, like that. Like I was basically like standing up. And anytime I'd sit down, I was like, boom. Like I don't hurt anymore. Um, Also, my muscles aren't strained anymore. I don't feel like I'm hurting in the same way for as long as I did after that first 26-mile ride. And like, I don't know if it's like because I'm fueling my body properly. Is it because I know what to do afterwards? Um, is it because I'm getting a good night's sleep? I'm not sure. Like, I'm really not sure. Like, I know, like, I've read a little bit, I've done some research, and like when I had the diabetes educator, that nurse practitioner gave me some literature about like what high glucose actually does to your body, to your cells, to your muscles, to your veins. It's really hard on your body. Um, to have high blood sugar. Sugar crystals are sharp. Apparently, like when you are exercising and your body is like you've got too many carbs, it makes it hard for your muscles to recover because they're both recovering from high blood sugar and from the exercise. But if your blood sugars are managed, then it's just recovering from the exercise. Now, I don't know how true that is, but I am noticing now that my blood sugars are much more regulated. I'm walking around and my blood sugars are not generally, over 130, 140. Occasionally I get 140. But like my blood sugars are, generally hovering around 100 to 125. And that's kind of where I'm living my life right now. Every time I test my blood sugar, it's in that range. And I'm just wondering is my body recovering better because my blood sugars are in the quote unquote normal range again? I don't know. And that's something I'm probably going to have a conversation with um my endocrinologist about, cuz she's going to understand that better than I do. Um but that's what the what little research and the reading that I've done leads me to believe is like I'm recovering better because I'm taking better care of myself. Also, the more exercise I do, the better my blood sugars are managed. The better my blood sugars are managed, the more, I don't want to say easy, but the more capable my body is for doing exercise. So it's kind of like a mind blowing thing. The more I take care of myself, the better I eat, the more I exercise, the more exercise I can do. Um, so yeah, so I'm just kind of like thinking about all those things, thinking about like eating properly when I'm out and about and on a ride. Like when I'm exercising, when I'm riding the bike, that is the only time my body knows what to do and understands carbohydrates. Um, because what happens with type 2 diabetes is like you have blood sugar, your body recognizes that there's blood sugar and you get flooded with insulin, but you're insulin resistant. So at least for me, that's what's going on in my body. My body is insulin resistant type 2 diabetes. And so over the years, my body has just forgotten how to use insulin to manage the blood sugars. And this is something that happens with women who have polycystic ovarian syndrome, at least for me. And in the research that I've done, this is how you end up with type 2 diabetes. It's like your body just doesn't know what to do with insulin. And so for me, on a daily basis, my body doesn't know what to do with insulin. But the minute I start exercising, my body's like, I know what to do with this insulin. We're going to burn carbohydrates. to fuel you. Um, so yeah, so like I want to say indulge, but it's not really indulging. It's actually fueling my body, having some more extra carbohydrates as I'm doing these longer rides. Part of it is so that I don't what's called bonking, which is like run out of fuel in your body. Like your body can't keep up with the physical needs of carbohydrate, burning fat, and all of that, and you bonk, which just means like you just feel like crap, you lose all your energy, and you feel like you can't go on. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at in terms of the exercise, the diet, and all of that. Um, but I'm feeling good, which is a huge positive. And so with that, tomorrow I will be riding the bike to work. It's going to end up being about 25 ish miles round trip. I do have a half day at work tomorrow, which is kind of awesome. I'm going to ride out and then ride home. I'm actually really looking forward to that. So, with that, thank you. And I will talk to you next time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around. And like I said, I'll see you next time. Bye.